Hello, everyone. To continue the learning of our recently concluded and highly appreciated event, Future Skills Virtual Conference, ETHR World brings to you some exclusive interviews with industry leaders in the L&D space. Today, I have with me Shiny Samuel, Global Lead Digital Learning Curation Team, Cisco. Shiny is a thought leader, learning professional, and HR journalist with over 20 years of experience spanning across leadership development, talent management, and talent acquisition. Currently, she leads the digital learning curation team responsible for providing a personalized, interactive, and digital learning experience at Cisco. Welcome, Shiny.
Hi, thank you.
So, with the year 2020, specifically in this year, digital learning and skilling trends have reached some important milestones. If I may ask you, what are some of those biggest trends and milestones that you see that are shaping the digital learning universe right now, specifically in the corporate setup?
Right. So, so digital has been around, you know, for some time now, and I think the whole COVID experience, the pandemic experience, has actually accelerated, the way we look at digital learning. And that's a classic example when you look at the 40 plus institutes across India, right? Everyone's, in addition to several other schools and colleges, in many IITs, IIMs have been using WebEx to continue teaching, right? So in the new normal, I think technology has now become core to L&D. Organizations are transitioning to on-demand learning to support employees at the time of need. AI and machine learning have become more commonplace in a range of tools, right? From delivery platforms, chat-based coaching tools, curation, content curation applications. Learning tools and methodologies that used or seem to be experimental in the past are quickly becoming mainstream, right? Thanks to a growing number of successful implementations. Micro learning is becoming big. Bite-sized approach to learning, in learning in small increments is also gaining traction. With aid of technology, now we can look through huge amount of content and extract relevant information and make it possible to create more consumable content that's accessible to the learner in the moment they need to learn. VR-based training is also, gaining a lot of traction, and many companies have, adopted that. So I think learning is so video has always been around, and it's becoming more pervasive. And there's more hybrid learning models that are emerging, where you leverage digital platforms and augment traditional experiences. Yeah. So the focus, among the trends, the focus will also be on streamlining hurdles to digital learning experience. Learner experience is going to take center stage. We know that 80% of our workforce is composed of now deskless workers, right? And so therefore mobile content is going to become important, especially in delivering a superior learning experience. Hope that helps.
Yeah, sure. And so while there are such opportunities, or there are certain gaps and challenges as well. So what are those gaps and challenges within the field of e-learning, digital learning, especially with the large scale organizations at this moment?
Yeah, I think with jobs becoming very specialized and with rapid automation and digitalization disrupting these traditional roles, I think estimating what are skills for the future, right? It's becoming is hard. It's hard enough filling talent gaps for critical skills at the accelerating pace of technological and economic change, plus a diverse distributed workforce. It becomes increasingly difficult to know what skills will be critical tomorrow, right? And future-proof talent strategy needs to account for all skills, including emerging that are essential to product service development, business models, right? So I think a lot of the workforce can view automation as a looming threat, or as a promise of a better way of working, right? To benefit from automation, today's employees are well served to have a broader cross-functional skills that transcend what can be automated and that complement the deep knowledge needed for their particular role. So identifying, these cross-functional set of skills, identifying skills of tomorrow, all of this is not the easiest, right? And I think another big challenge is, having learning is time. People are just too busy. So we have to create learning experiences that are compelling, time worthy, right? And memorable. So I think rather than flood them with learning content in different formats, we must deliver more an engaging, interesting, high quality experience, especially that kind of one that fits into their flow.
Yeah, sure. So, to my going to my last question, the whole concept of this competency-based learning and all, we are hearing a lot of things about it. We are reading a lot of articles, a lot of content around it. It seems to be gathering, lot of significance on the global level as well. So, on a very basic level, if we want to understand it, what is this idea of competency-based learning all about, and how do you see it positioned with context to the Indian market, the Indian industries specifically?
Yeah. The primary concept of competency-based learning is to develop a strong employable workforce for the future, right? So and it is done by assessing students on demonstrated skills and knowledge. So presently, now I think with COVID coming in, that has accelerated the competency-based learning in India, right? It provides flexibility and personalized learning opportunities, and at the same time helps save time and money. Now, for Indian companies, I think presently 65% of India's population, while is in the working age group, only 10% is in the organized sector, and probably just maybe about 2.5-3% have undergone any competency-based skilling, right? So I think so for Indian companies, the focus is shifting to addressing the role individuals play in its overall business and outcomes, right? And just not learning, right? It's just not finite skills, but application of those skills, right? And as skilling is probably what's more quantifiable, it's more measured, and ultimately that's what makes the shift. And therefore, I think that's why this whole thing is gaining a lot more momentum.
Sure. So that gives us a lot of answers to a lot of questions. I'm sure the audience will also take a lot of actionable points and insights from here. Thank you, Shiny, for your time. Thank you for joining us today.